That is a stunning piece of wood. I would have never thought in a million years that would have ended up coming out. Don't even see it very well because it's so shiny, the light's reflecting off of it. But I took that bottom. So this is the project. I'm calling it my prehistoric bowl, as you can see from the title. The reason being is because it's old, chunky and rough around the edges, just like me. So, sticky and horrible. So yes, so yeah, nothing else to say really. It's failed. No good. So I'll see you guys next week. Fresh new project, one that works. And take care. Speak to you soon, and bye for now. Good afternoon, how is everybody? Welcome over to the channel, and thanks to each and every one of you guys for coming over and joining myself and Nick for another Sunday lunchtime live. I don't know whether it's like where you are, but today is absolutely heaving it down in rain.
It was, it's not now.
Oh, it's not now. It was. You could hear it through the roof of the workshop earlier. It was raining so hard. So damp and horrible. So it's best to be in here in the warm, in the dry. So welcome to everybody. Thanks for coming over. Hope you're all well. Hope you're all having a great weekend, and hope you and your loved ones are okay. So what we're going to do today, to be honest, I didn't know. I was a bit unsure, but I have a piece here, which is a bit of a chunky piece. Still green, so we're only going to be able to rough turn it. I'm going to turn to some sort of vase, ornamental piece. Nothing high tech, something nice and relaxing, calm for a Sunday afternoon. And we're going to see what we come up with. It's going to be just a bit of, as it comes to my head, it's going to come out on the piece. So nothing major, nothing high tech today. Not a lot of them, no. If we get to the stage where if we find out it's dry enough, we might put a bit of colour on it. But to be perfectly honest, I don't think it's going to be dry enough. I believe this was only cut down about 6 months ago, so I don't think it's going to be dry. What wood it is, I don't know. But if you guys can tell me, that's even better. So we'll see what happens. Might be have a little bit of spalting in it with the colour, so we'll see what happens. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand you over to Nick. She's going to read out who's in the chat, and we'll welcome you guys to the show or the live. And I'll start chucking this in the lathe, and I'm going to be using it on a centre point until we get a tenon on the end to grab it onto. So I'll hand you guys over to Nick.
Hello, everybody. Right, we have on the chat Colin from Wood Wizardry. We have John S., John Mooney, Douglas Mungham, Barry's Wood Creations, Barry Fisher, Duncan Barber, Dr. Bob, Terry Bray from TJ Turnen, Robert from Hodgepodge, Sid's Repurposing, Ian from IDR Woodturning, Tommy's Workshop, Mark the Gentleman Woodturner, Pete from Twisted Trees, Andy Heath, Leap and Lima Craftworks, hello Scott, Robert Dolman, Ian in the Shed, we've got Klondike Craftsman Lewis, we've got Doug Miller, we've got Karen Dolman, we've also got Mr. Stacey Smith, and we've got Benjamin. Oh, who else have we got? We've got Barry BRS Woodturning, Mark Pritchard, Rubber Dub Wood. I never remember. So Steve, I shouldn't forget his name, should I?
I should forget Steve, should you?
Think. Did I say Brickhouse Craftworks? Brickhouse Craftworks. Could
yeah,
you put your name in the comments, please, if you want us to know what that is? Forking Owls. Oh, look, he said you got to do a vase.
Who said that?
Forking Owls.
Did he?
Martin.
A vase? A vase or a vase?
A vase. We'll have a vase. We're going to be hot today. Robert Nye. JP Woodwork. Oh, Keith Wright. Glenn Senior.
Oh, hello, Glenn. How the devil are you, sir?
I'm watching you on the telly.
Well, that's got to be frightening, surely.
God, on the portable. Paul Smithson. Christine and Michael Heseltine.
Oh, good afternoon, Christine and Michael. Hope you're both well.
Dad's in.
Oh, hiya, Dad. How you doing?
Would if I could. That's John. Wow. Oh my goodness.
Got a real good crew in today.
Oh, highlight. Wait a minute. Oh, Steve, I might need you. Oh no, that's all right. I've done it. I highlighted them all by mistake. Yep, I think I've said hello to anyone who I haven't. I apologise.
Did you mention Mark Pritchard?
Yes, I did.
Oh, anyway.
Wivey Woodshed's in.
Wow.
And Rex B. And Brickhouse Craftworks is Seth. You said you thought it was Seth, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Welcome, Seth. Thanks for coming over. Well, guys, thank you so much for coming over. Very much appreciated. Nice crew to be in. So let's hope we can keep you entertained. I'll try my best. So let's move this to overhead. So like I said, I've got this between centres, and what we're going to do is we're going to rough clean it up, and then we'll get a tenon on the end, and then we can grab that in the chuck, and then we can work out what sort of shape, what sort of thing we're going to do with it. We've got a flat piece on here, so whether we're going to be able to keep a piece of that, I don't know, but we'll get it turned to a rough round, and we will see how we go. And if we can, then great, because I always like to try and keep a bit of the natural if I can, but we'll see what happens. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this for my round bar tool rest, because it's a little bit longer, to be honest. So we'll just change that for that. Just check that so we're close. Oops. So what we'll do, so we'll get a rough round, and we'll see what happens. I don't know whether you'll be better off with an overhead and a side view, would you? No,
right, I've
really.
got my A3 piece of paper. I'll be sit here writing my Christmas list, all right?
Yeah, A3, thanks, love.
Yeah.
Make sure you write your letters big.
Well, I'm actually getting probably on the back of a stamp.
Right, so we'll just pick up a little bit of speed so we can get this rough. I'm just using a rough and gouge so we get a rough shape. Always a bit frightening when you start roughing off something that's not shaped, because it looks like you're turning fresh air. But it's definitely green. You can definitely smell it's green.
can you smell it's green?
You can smell the moisture in the wood, love. Ooh, look at that, that's pretty. It's like a damp towel sitting on the lantern.
I don't leave damp towels on the lanterns, the kids.
Yeah, I know it is. Right, so we just rough this off and see how it turns out, really, more than anything. So, I mean, if I can keep a piece of that, which I don't think I'm going to be honest, but we'll see what happens. We'll see. I'm glad I made my coffee. That would have been full of shavings now.
Robert Dolman said, how do you know that they're nice,
What?
the people? Neil Gould's on. Gould.
Hi, Neil.
Mark said, slick camera transition there, Steve.
Thank you, Mark. You know, I tried to impress.
Miller put hashtag flowers for Nikki.
Oh, we're on about that again, are we?
Do you know what? I had 2 lots of flowers in about a month, and I've had nothing since. And it was my birthday, and I didn't get flowers.
Oh, there we go. Hang on, I've just got to get the violin out. No, I'm joking.
Colin Izzard's on. He said, what wood is it?
Who said that?
Colin Izzard.
I'm not sure, Colin, to be honest. But I did show at the beginning, but I have got another piece I could show.
Right. Just while you're doing that, Jimbo's on.
Hi, Jimbo.
Douglas Mungham said hashtag Christmas gifts for Nikki. Robert Dolman said, are we playing Guess the Wood?
Yeah, you can do. Yeah, okay. Can you guess from that?
Oh, yeah, can you remember that before? Oh, my goodness. There was some controversy about that. John S. says birch.
It's possible.
Emma is on. Mum Dragon TT.
Oh, hello, Emma. How are you?
Oh, we've got someone new. Joseph King. Welcome to the group, Joseph.
Good afternoon, Joseph. Thank you for coming over, sir.
No, Joseph.
Joseph.
Josev. Joseph.
Thank you very much for coming over anyway. Hope you enjoyed the show. Oops.
The show. That's what it is, isn't it?
So there's a few clowns in here.
Tommy's workshop says beach. Barry BRS is saying ash. I thought I wrote these down, really, didn't I?
What I'll do...
We're not going to know, are we?
Well, let me just quickly go grab... That's nearly round now. Just go quickly grab another piece that's outside. And I'll show you the bark. Like I say, this was given to me. My father-in-law brought this round to me because his neighbour's a bit of a gardener, and he brought it round for me. So it is like an ashy effect grain on it, or wood on it. Excuse me, bark on it, but I'm not sure. I'm not 100%. And my father-in-law didn't know either. So let me know, guys. Right, so we're round now. We've got a little bit of bark left on there, or the base of the bark there, but I'm not going to worry about
Chris of the Dragons is on as well.
Hi Chris, how you doing, sir? Thanks for coming over. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put
a lot of people saying it's beach.
It's got like a beachy effect to it on the, if you look at the grain, it's got, but like I said, I'm not 100% sure. So I'm going to put a tenon on the end here, Give us something to grab to so we can get it in the chuck. I had to make sure I was on the right camera fit. So I'm going to square this up because it's miles out of being square. Does taste nice, I must admit. Right, it's just see
Glyn
if we...
said it looks like fruit wood to him.
All right. I don't know. I'm like I said, I'm not 100% sure. So I'm just going to try and take this down a little bit without catching the spigot.
Welcome to Leroy 500. Oh,
Hi, Leroy.
Cool, is that dust getting in here?
cool.
No dust? No, not from here. It's wet wood. Right. So we just do one more little pass down there to give us a
One more
decent...
little pass.
Yeah, one more little
That's the
pass.
infamous last words, isn't it?
One more pass. Just so we got a decent tenon to grab to. So we should have a good tenon to grab to now. So what we'll do is we'll move this out.
Is this heater on?
Yeah, you might have turned over. I turned it down yesterday because it was too hot in there. You're sitting on it now, are you?
Yeah, I got it right near my knee. It's near my knee.
So I'll get this clamped. And then I'll bring the tail stock up to square it up. So get that nice and tight. And now we can start getting some shape. So we're going for a vase or a vase.
Benjamin said, "Are you getting splashback, Steve?"
Splashback, what, from the moisture? There is a little bit. You can feel the dampness coming out of it when the shavings hit you, but there's no wet coming out of it, if you know what I mean. So I'm just going to try and clean this end up a little bit. Oops.
Doug Miller and Glyn think it's applewood.
Right, okay.
Emma said apple as well. Does it
Who?
taste of apples, Emma?
I'll have a look in a minute.
Can I have a lick? Or a look? I like this radiator, I can move it around.
Right. It does smell fruity, I will admit that. It does smell fruity, but I don't know, I'm not sure, 100% sure. So, a vase. Fancy looking vase or just a straight basic vase? What do you reckon, Nick? Choice is yours. Because this is going to be your Christmas present.
Yeah, I won't be surprised.
No, I'm joking. I'm going to rough shape it with the rough and gouge, I think.
Seth from Brickhouse said could be Apple, like the others have said, because you did say it came from the neighbour who was a bit of a gardener.
Yeah. You can tell it's green. How the whoops, how the strings are coming off of it.
Robert Dolman said lick it. DIY Dark Sun, he said, are you making a coffee cup?
A big coffee cup, Dark. Right, let's go for a bowl gouge. I'm going to bring that back a bit further, actually.
Oh, God, that's what you want to know. I get for being up at stupid o'clock. Seth from Brickhouse wants to know what headset you use because your voice is very clear.
I use the Jabra Evolve 60 headset, Seth. They're a what?
As you said that, Mark typed it in there.
Did he?
You know everything, don't he?
Yeah, well, he has the same headset.
All right.
They're a good headset. They're wireless, very clear, noise cancellation. You can get them, I believe, on eBay second-hand, anywhere from £60 to £100. New, I think they're about. Well, I was looking at them the other night. Actually, they're about 120. Cheapest you can get a set online, second brand new, is 120 quid. What's the matter with you?
I'm choking.
Um,
I'd look 20 quid.
but there are other companies selling for 140, so you just got to shop about, really, mate. Oops. They are a good headset, I will admit that.
Mine were a £5 off the market.
£5? I wouldn't pay that. No, yours were about 45 quid, I think.
And I broke them.
Yeah, and you broke them. It's really
Emma's asked, what are you making?
Well, I'm hoping to make a vase or a vase.
A big one for 2 bunches of flowers. Ben said, look at those shavings like peeling a moist potato.
Moist. That's got to be the word of the day, that has, moist.
Moist. Better than bottom. Mark, gentleman, said the only problem with those headsets, you can't wear a bowler hat with one.
Yeah. I don't know, I ain't got a bowler hat. I ain't gonna just take one more out of there, I think.
DIY Darks put, I had a girlfriend with a shape like that once. She made a great egg timer. Dale from Maple Trees on. Hi, Dale.
Hi, Dale.
It's for afternoon, kids. Just bought a set of eBay. Right, so Pete said he's just bought a set of eBay for £3. No dong with it, but made the snowman video I uploaded last night with the radio on, which was not picked up, just voice and tools.
Yeah, you need, really, when you're doing, if you're going to video, You need noise cancellation, really.
John Mooney's got to go because he's got to do some work. He'll catch up later.
See you later, John. Thanks
Bye,
for coming over,
John.
mate.
Hodgepodge said that's because you aren't a proper gentleman, Steve.
What's that? Why not? What have I done now?
The flowers, I think.
All right. Just going to scoop this over a little bit.
Oh, he says that's why you don't have a bowler hat.
Who's that?
Hodgepodge.
What, because
Because
the
you aren't a
head's...
gentleman.
Oh, right. It's nice and smooth, that. Smooth as a baby's bum. Ooh, that's nice. Look at that. Bit of spalting or whatever that word is. Is that classed as spalting? What do you reckon? Nice.
You got a donation from Dale.
Oh, Dale, thank you. Shouldn't have done,
For
but
some
thank you.
funky... Towards some funky vinyl for the floor.
He's obsessed. I'm going to paint some squares on the floor here just for Dale. Just on the floor here for Dale.
Joseph said he's working on a... oh, I've lost it now. He's working on a spiral vase.
Spiral. It's interesting.
DIY Dark said I've got a sexy voice. I don't think so.
Dark, you should hear her when I'm editing. If she's in the video.
Chris of the Dragon said it's a good camera angle, Steve. You can see how you're using the gouge.
Thank you, Chris.
Colin said nice shape.
So
Pete from Twisted said, Steve, quick tip, hollow that out with a 12mm Forstner bit. Will cost a lot less in flowers that way. Oh,
I weren't going to go that big, Pete, to be honest. I was going to put a 6mm drill bit down the middle. So I'm just using a negative rake scraper here just to sort of smooth this out a little bit.
DIY Dark said, I would say that's heartwood, Steve. Lewis said it looks like maple. Mark Pritchard's ordered a new lathe.
Oh, really? What lathe you ordered, Mark?
A Axminster 406, I think.
Nice. So just take a bit of that out of there. Alright, so I'm just...
Dale said, Lewis, it doesn't look like me at all. It's not fat enough, chunky enough. Oh, because he said it looks like maple, yeah.
Have you just twigged?
Yeah, I didn't realise that. I thought, he didn't say anything about Dale.
Right, so let's get this sanded up.
Dale, you're cuddly. That's what it is. It's called cuddly.
Kidnappable. What they call it? Kidnap proof. That's what they call it. Alright, so let's get some sandpaper.
Douglas said, Steve, hollow with 100mm Forstner bit. Yeah, that's about right, Douglas.
So I'm going to sand this. So we've got... actually, I'll sand it with a bowl sander. That'd be easier.
Sand it with a sander would be a good idea.
You should be on the stage. So let's turn extraction
Can I have
on.
another piece of paper from my Christmas list?
Well, have you used that bit of stuff? Have you used that post-it note, haven't you?
I've used this A3 bit. Emma liked that, kidnap proof. I bet Casey's gone back to sleep.
Yeah, I bet.
Little sausage, isn't she?
Typical teenager.
Stays up till stupid o'clock to do her bedroom Friday night, so she ain't got to do nothing for the rest of the weekend. She ain't stupid, is she?
Trying to sound that bit in there.
Robert Dolman said, why not hollow with a chainsaw really quick?
Ooh, that'd be nasty, wouldn't it? Especially if it went wrong.
Joe Y Dark said, that is strange wood. I don't think it's maple. The dark wood almost looks like walnut.
I don't know. I honestly don't know what it is. To be honest, like I say, my father-in-law brought it down to me because his next door neighbour's a gardener, and he was saying that. Well, he just happened to say to me that his neighbour was taking some trees down, and I just said to him, well, if he's rather than throwing it away, which I'm going to sound that a bit harsher than that, because
And I take it that you can't use that Google thing to see what they are.
you might be able to on the bark. To be honest.
Rubber Dub said it looks like a giant light pole. Barry from Wood Creation said, is it too wet to colour?
Yes, I think it is Barry, to be honest.
Dark said, I'm not very good at identifying wood, but I don't think it's maple. Joseph put, all these part-timers, I was working on my vase till 5 a.m. Day Prout is on. Don't you say it, Day?
Die. Hi, Die, how are you?
Ian from IDR saying that's apple. I reckon it's got to be some fruit. If
It
it's
does
come
smell
from...
fruity when you smell it, to be honest. But I've got a piece of apple wood in there and the bark's slightly different, to be honest. But
Dark said could be a hybrid, you know, where two trees grow together and make one tree. I hope you're going to make that look prettier.
I mean prettier. How do you
Something
want?
around the rim and...
Have I finished yet?
Like that crisscrossy stuff or something.
Like what?
Crisscrossy stuff.
It's a bit early to do a Christmas project, isn't it, Shirley?
Crisscrossy, I said.
Oh, I thought you said Christmassy.
I know
what?
you said about turning being noise thingy, but you're supposed to listen to me. Emma said, are you planning on drying it?
Well, I was hoping, Emma, that I'd turn it green and let it dry naturally, and that may go a funny shape, which is what I was hoping. Well, sort of warp a little bit.
Seth's also said, will you rough turn this, or are you planning to finish this after drying?
Well, I want to turn it, and then, like I say, just leave it and let it sort of warp it, go a funny shape.
Douglas Mungham said, Steve, if any tree is cut, it should be used for timber or turning, not chipped.
Yeah, I agree. It's a waste, real waste, when people just burn it.
Dark said, apple wood is beautiful, and even more so when it's spaltered. Pete said, you do get lots of different bark on apple.
Oh, that's perhaps what it
is. Chris of Dragon said, that's a technical term, Steve. Keep up. Ben said it needs to go narrower at the base.
Narrower?
Dark said he did a dragon's egg out of apple. The wood grain is awesome. Doug said, better get it really thin.
I don't want to go too thin because that won't have no.
And how do you pronounce that name again?
Die.
He's got 8 logs of apple spalting up nicely.
I didn't want to go too thin there because if I go too thin, the base will look silly if that's chunky. So I'm going to put something around here, just a bit of texture around there really, nothing major. Just to keep the wife happy, as we do. So I'm going to use the Robert Sorby texturing tool. I'm just going to put a little bit of texture in this outer ring here, and I may. Do you think I should put a little bit in the base or not? What do you reckon, Nick?
Sorry, I was reading something else. What?
Bit of texture in here as well, or just in
Yeah,
here?
go for it. I don't know what he's talking about, but there. Joseph said it looks much like holly.
All right, so let's go in here.
Glenn Senior said it's a butternut squash.
I did think that when I've done the shape, to be honest.
Wayne Bigfoot and Valerie's on.
Hello, Wayne and Valerie. Hope you're both well. So I'm just going to do a little bit in this base here.
Chris said it's now a crisscrossy tool.
Yeah. So, don't know if you can see that in the bottom there. Can you? Let's change camera so you can see that. Can you see that little bit of texture in there?
Just a second. Just reading the chat. Just wait.
I won't talk to you.
Oh, alright, stuff you then. Go make coffee.
So, what we do now is we just put a little tiny bead either side of that.
I can't see it. Nope, can't see it. Oh yeah, I can.
So
The
we'll just
light's a bit glary a bit, that's why.
put glary.
Glary. Yeah, no, not much better. You can see it on the brown bit.
Yeah, that's what I was
Obviously more so than on the...
So, I'm just going to put a line either side of that. Just to sort of ring it really. Speed up a little bit, help. So there. I may put a bit of gill cream in that just to let it stand out a little bit. And there. I'll do the bottom the same.
Steve said bottom.
Bottom. So just in there. And then we'll find the outer edge as well. So about there. What I might do, I might just put a little couple of rings in this base just to sort of match. I don't think we want any more decoration than that, to be perfectly honest. So I think that will...
Seth from Brickhouse said, well done Steve, it's going to be beautiful. Got to run, but we'll finish watching this later.
Cheers, Seth. Take care, mate. Thanks for coming over. So I'm just going to quickly sand that back up. 120 to 240.
Darren J. Callison's on.
Hi, Darren. Extraction will be good. So I'm just only doing this 120, 240 just basically to get rid of any of the high spots and fluffy bits we've had through the texturing tool. So
Douglas Mungham's got a question. Do you have to make the decorating deeper because it is wet?
No, I've just done it as normal, to be honest, Douglas. I haven't done it any deeper than I would normally. If anything, I would imagine as it shrinks, as it dries, it would shrink back, I would imagine. But I'm not sure about that one, but we'll see. So I sanded up to 240. I've got to move these shavings. I keep standing on these shavings. Right. So get the airline and just blow all those out. Is that a bit glary? You can't really see that, can you? Is that better? Is that a better picture? It's not so whitewashed now, or is that?
Are you asking me or not?
Well, I'm asking the chat.
Okay.
That looks a bit whitewashed. But I don't know if that's any better or not. Right, so I'm now going to sand and seal this. I'm going to do it as we would do it as a unfinished piece. Then if it dries out and warps, it dries out and warps. To be honest, I'm not going to... I've still got the 6 bowls sitting in a box over in the corner there, what we did a couple of months ago on a live that need finished turn. I'll perhaps do them as another live one Sunday, to be honest.
Darren said, just drop by, say hello. It's like 20 to 1 here, and I have very early start in the morning.
All right, mate, thanks for coming over.
Looking good. I'll watch it tomorrow night.
Thank you, Darren.
Chris said, still very white, mate.
Yes, because it's a very light wood, to be honest.
And Barry said, that's better. Dr. Bob said it's a baby bottle. Nipple for Puff the Magic Dragon. Colin from Woodwardry said, burn lines make it pop.
That's a good idea, actually.
The dragon said, yeah, I like that idea. What's that you're putting on it?
Sand and sealer.
Why is it in that bottle then?
Because it's normally in a tin and it's easier when I dilute it, it's easier to get it out of this bottle.
Right. Dark said would make a beautiful urn.
Yeah, I'm making me own. Making me own.
Ready for these hamsters.
Yeah, it's very white. The trouble is the wood is nearly white anyway, so it's a bit struggle to get a good colour out of it. So we'll give it a coat of sand and sealer, let that dry for a minute or two. Then we'll give it a coat of Yorkie grit. Get it nice and smooth. Right, so Yorkshire Grit Original. Rub it in by hand to start with. Give it a nice coverage. And then we're going to work it in.
Darren said, yeah, the bottles work well. Wayne Bigfoot said it's going to be hard to write with that pen.
You say that, Wayne. I was going to do a pen today, and I thought, no, people don't
Darren
want to
said,
see.
nice shape.
People don't want to see me do a pen. Thank you, Darren. So we're going to work this in really well. The more time you spend working this in, the better finish you will get. So this should bring us up to about 1,000 grit finish. Ready for our final finish.
Barry from BRS said put some burn lines in it.
I might do actually around where the lines are. It's a good idea. So as you're working this in, you can feel the abrasive paste working its way in.
Douglas has a question. Is there any reason for finishing when it is wet?
Yeah, because I want to do the demo as start to finish, Douglas. I might leave the inside natural so it can dry from the inside. Then what I can do is I can pack the inside full of shavings, because like I said at the start, I would like it if that could go a funny dry and go a funny shape. But I want to finish the outside, so it's you guys basically see how I finish it. Right, so get a clean piece of tissue, speed the lathe up a little bit. Let's get this buffed out. So what we're aiming for is, so we take the tissue away and we've got no residue of the Yorkshire grit on it.
Leap and Lima said, how many types of Yorkshire grit are there?
There's two. There's the original, which is the one I'm using now, and then there's the microfine as well, which takes you up to around about a 2000 grit finish.
Wayne said he's managed to get 3 large rounds of monkey puzzle tree.
Oh, nice. So, as you can see, tissue's clean, so we know we've got all the Yorkshire grit off of it.
Mark said it's so you can plug. Mark Pritchard said it's so you can plug at the chimney to stop Father Christmas coming down.
Yeah. So I'm just going to use the airline to blow out all the Yorkshire grit from the lines we put in. What I'll do is I'll get my famous sticks and put some burn lines in there, I think, before we get any further. Hopefully they'll burn with, now we've got the wax in them. Or maybe not.
Colin, his dad said he's used Yorkshire grit for the first time this week. It works very well.
It won't burn, man, it won't burn. Oh, that's better. Perhaps I should have done that before I Yorkshire gritted it. So that's that one. Let's do the bottom two. Just use this to take the bit awkward to get in there.
Oh no!
Did you like that? That's better.
It made my teeth curl.
Made your teeth curl. Alright, just clean out the grit out of these.
Oh, it made my teeth go really funny. That is. Mark Pritchard said, "Do you use wire to burn?"
No, what I'm using is McDonald's stirring stick. That's what I'm using. Oops.
Barry said it won't burn because the wood is wet.
No, I think it was because there was wax on it, Barry. That was the trouble. But we're there. We're there.
What are you doing to those hamsters over there?
So, got burn lines in it.
Nothing bad.
I think what we'll do is we'll stick a little bit of gill cream in the texturing, I think, or shall we leave it natural? What do you think? Don't know, really. What do you reckon, Nick?
Tesco's ain't got no frozen cauliflower. What? You asked me what I reckon.
Um,
Don't ask me to make decisions. A Sunday, I haven't had a lot of sleep.
Whose fault's that? Sleep at night. I'm going to put some gold gill cream in there.
I was excited about doing this today.
Yeah, I'm sure you was. Right, I'm going to put some gold embellishing wax all over the whole piece now. And fill those bits of texturing in. Put the glove on the right way, be alright.
Duncan Barber said gilt and cream to highlight the texture in.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So I'm using the Hampshire Sheen. Can you see that? Hampshire Sheen embellishing wax, gold. Other colours and other manufacturers are available. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put an amount on my tissue. And I'm just going to rub, it's a bit too much, Stephen. I'll rub this over the whole piece. It should just highlight the grain, hopefully. Don't worry about the burn lines, we can just run the stick back in there to clean those out, that's not a problem.
Huey's on, Huey lines up.
Hi Huey, how you doing, bud? So I'm just going to turn this up, buff this off. Hopefully this will just sort of give us a little bit of a gold shimmer.
Ah, I missed it. There's a flea in your workshop, there, Stephen. There, Stephen. There's a flea in your workshop. Huey said, assume the position. Steve has the gloves on. Sid's off to bed.
See you later,
For
Sid.
good
Thanks for coming
purposes.
over.
Brent Beecroft is on.
Who?
Brent Beecroft. Brent.
New name?
Yep.
Welcome to the channel, sir or madam.
Brentism, sir. Huey said, all good here, Nikki and Steve.
Good. So I'm just going to buff this up. If it's got a shine on it, I will use the embellishing wax as the finish.
Dark said to Huey, does it bother you that Steve wears blue gloves? Mark Pritchard's off.
See you later, Mark. Thanks for coming over. So you can just see the, I'll put on a different camera. You can just see the effects on the gill cream. Just fills those in a little bit. And can you see on the back here as well? Just sort of fills in the gill. You just get a sort of gold glimmer in it. Nothing high tech, nothing stands out too much. So what we need to do now is I'm going to tighten this up because we need to take a tailstock out.
Huey's being rude.
Is he?
Said, did you get Pam Ayres to earworm today?
Put him on timeout, he's being naughty.
That's what I thought, put him in the corner.
Put him in the corner with the D hat on. Right, so we'll clean this lump off the hair. Then I'll use forcing a bit to take that out in the middle there. And like I said, I may leave it natural in the middle. without any treatment on it, so it can dry out nice. But we'll see what it's like when we get it turned out. So safety glasses. Just get this turned out. I'm going to try and take this nearly all the way through so I can just break it off. Just like that. Take that out of there before I bang my elbow on it. So get that tail stuck out of the way, just clean this up. So what we can do now is get our chuck in, and then we'll get our Forstner bits and see how we go. I don't know what size I'm going up to, depending on how we go, but what I will do is I'll start off small and work our way up. Never anywhere to put anything, is there? Always never enough space.
Tidy it up.
So we'll start off with a small one to start with and gradually work our way up. Ooh, don't do that, Stephen. Slow it down a little bit, I think. This is where you see it being wet, because obviously the steam. So I hope everybody's had a good weekend. Hope people have had a chance to be in their workshops over the weekend.
Douglas Mungham said that wood looks great.
So you can tell it's green now because you can smell it. Is that too close? Can you see that? Oh, you can see what I'm doing. That's right.
That's fine.
So go up to the next size. Actually, I'll go up 2 sizes. If not, we'll be here forever. Good thing when it's green, it cuts easy. Might have to do this in 2 stages because
Right,
obviously
we've got a question
go on then.
from Duncan Barber. He said, when using Forstner bits, do you start large and reduce, or small and work up?
I always start small. The reason being, if you start large, you put a lot of stress on your machine. If you start small, and remember where you put the chuck key. If you start small, it's a lot less stress on the machine. But I'm going up 2 sizes at a time because it's quite a soft wood. It's quite easy, cutting quite easy. If that had been a piece of oak or something, that would have been really stressing out with 2 sizes up. But this is, I'm going up 2 sizes at a time, so it's not turning too bad.
Douglas Mungham said, do you have 100mm Forstner bit?
Yes, I do.
Dark said it's too cold to be in his workshop. He might have a chance or two before the snow comes. Steve's got heaters and what's that thing you made? A fire, didn't you? And
A log burner, that's in the
log
garage.
burner, yeah. Emma's asked, how would you finish the vase to be able to hold water?
I would pour clear resin inside it, to be honest. Obviously that's waterproof. Give it a couple of coats of resin. So,
Oh, excuse me. Oh dear.
as you can hear, my wife thinks this is very interesting.
Oh, I didn't sleep well, did I? So.
So obviously got as deep as our first bit now, so we're going through fresh cut. So I don't want to stress out the
Duncan
machine.
Barber's got to go. He said, great demo, Steve, got to go.
Thank you.
I finish watching it later.
Thank you very much. Take care.
You're breathing really heavy.
I'm excited. It's because the mic works up right near my nose. Oh, she's warm. Right, so next size, this one.
Right.
Right, what?
Dark said a neat trick for holding water in a vase is to take broken pieces of plexiglass and melt them in acetone, then coat the inside of the vase with it. When the acetone evaporates, it hardens back up.
Didn't know that. Well done.
And Joseph said Rustin's plastic coating is good and easy to apply. Colin Izzard said, are they record power bits?
Yes, they are, Colin.
Oh, my back's hurting now. Oh, where do we get to? That's right, they were just saying how good ideas and stuff.
Right, so stop that for a minute. See roughly how deep we are.
Dale said poly varnish will do the same thing. I made plant pots using poly as the coating. Keith from Circular Woods on.
Hi Keith, how you doing, sir? So that's 3.5 inches deep. So we're to about there. So we've got quite a way to go yet.
Oh, I'm really cold.
So I've got a 55 there and a 50. Just get this new 55 out because I had to buy a...
New? Did you say new?
Yeah, new. Because I had to buy a replacement one because the record power one was blunt and I keep sharpening it but it
You
loses
are
its
very
edge.
brave to be saying all this on with witnesses as well.
Witnesses?
Douglas said could coat the inside of resin. That's what you said, didn't you?
Yeah, that's what I would do because I've got it available. You know what I mean? I've got resin here, so it seems silly to go and buy something different when I've already got it.
Pete said alternative to plastic coat and the inside of the vase, get plastic flowers, lasts forever and needs no water. I have, Douglas, got my jacket on, keep me warm.
Oh, that's a shame. Just slightly too small for that to go all the way in.
Ben said, is Stuart Farini only live some weekends?
Yes, I believe so. I don't think he's live this weekend, from what I understand. Right, what next size have we got? This bad boy.
Stacey Smith said, what would you use to coat the inside of goblets to make them usable?
Ooh, I don't know. Never really thought about
That'd have to
doing
be
a
food,
usable column.
like a food safe thing as well, wouldn't it?
Sorry?
Oh, there, look. Joseph said, Reston's plastic coating is waterproof, heatproof, and alcohol-proof. Mark put, ladies and gentlemen, a moment silence please for a fallen husband. Steve has just got busted for a new tool. Douglas Mungham suggested fit a glass liner.
And this is not smoke, it's condensation. Very hot condensation. Just see how deep we are. I don't want to go all the way down there and cut through the bottom door. That would be a silly thing to do. Just
Steve said bottom.
measure that across. That is 75 mil. And that is 85. Oh, plenty of room. Take that all the way through them. Mark sits there shivering, I bet now. Ooh, miss.
Doug Miller said, here comes the funnel. Colin said, blimey, Steve, what size bit is that?
75 mil.
Baz from Real Simple Things is on.
Hi, Baz. Gonna take it steady now because we've got to the bottom of our multiple holes, so it's cutting
Steve said
fresh.
bottom.
It's cutting fresh, so we've got to take it nice and slow.
Chrissy the Dragons, hashtag flowers for Nikki. Don't you put a hole in that bottom of that vase. Joseph said no need to put any finish on first. Restings will boost the colour of the wood. Dark said beeswax would coat the inside of a goblet nicely and is food safe.
Would it make it waterproof though?
We've got Bailey Woodworks on.
Hi, Bailey.
Scott from Leap and Lima said just a little deeper, Steve.
Just a little deeper.
A little deeper.
Little deeper.
Pete said don't go too far, Steve. You may SK it. Keith from Circular Wood is asking what's the wood. We don't know. They think it could be apple. Yeah, Andy Heath. No one knows. No, we don't.
Whew, poof. Whew. Smells nice. Smells like apple crumble.
Dale's given another donation. Glass for the window.
What window?
Hmm.
Right, let's see how deep we are. We are. Oh, I'm at the bottom. 115 mil.
Barry says make sure the inside isn't bigger than the outside.
Ooh, she's warm. Nothing else.
Dark said yes, it's wax. Wax is waterproof. Heat it up with friction and it will melt into the wood grain. Worth knowing.
That is, yeah.
They've not got a lot of faith in you, have they? Paul Smith said could be another funnel coming.
Oh, what's going on here?
You do realise that the inside is supposed to be smaller than the outside. Douglas said, Steve, don't make a tube.
Where's my vernier? I'm just going to... You're all making me doubt myself now.
Chris said, a TARDIS vase. What are you looking for? Oh, what's it look like? I tidied up, didn't I?
Here it is, my vernier. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, I tidied up again.
So we've got 90 mil on the outside. Chuck's hot.
Baz said that's a huge light pool, Steve. It does look like a light pool, doesn't it?
And 73 on the
smoking.
inside. That's steam.
You can see that coming out of it.
It's
Quick fire!
Condensation. I'm going deeper, guys. I'm going deeper. Have a little bit of faith.
Oh, got JPN Company on. He said, is that on fire?
No, it's not. It's because it's green. It's still wet inside. It's where it's hot and it's steam.
Guy's got a question for you. I'm filming bog roll for a new video today. Shall I move the monitor so I don't catch you in the background?
No, I could do with the fame.
Leroy said it's always that last cut.
You lot have just got no faith.
Right, who's got a new age dictionary definition?
What?
Steve. To create a funnel or void in a beautiful art piece. Douglas said, Steve, don't go too deep. Paul said, get ready to duck, Nikki. I'm in a different room. Emma said the steam gives it a dramatic effect. Don't regret it. That stinks.
I did tell you to have a shower. Let's see how deep we are. Should we see how deep we are then? Well, don't smell too good, does it? I don't want to get my fingers in because it's hot. Well, it is 140 mil deep. I reckon that's deep enough for a plastic flower. It's definitely warm.
Steve from Rubber said, I have loads of faith, Steve. You're not even halfway there. Full steam ahead.
You can see the moisture come out on the edge here, where like I say, I'm going to leave the inside natural anyway.
Scott from Leap Lima said you need a bigger depth gauge. Door 60's on.
I remember the gentleman's name. Always want to say Ben, but I don't think that's right. Oh, God, Chuck's tight.
Andy.
Andy, that's the one. The Chuck's that tight, I can't do it.
Brent said the dreaded one more.
That was tight.
Smells.
It smells nice, doesn't it?
Amazing.
This bit's going to be hot. Give me a bit of tissue. Ooh, you see the smoke? Just clean my chuck off. Get that out so I don't bang my elbow on it. That's warm and all. Not good for the grease in the chuck, is it really? But hot, hot, hot. Right, so we just need to hollow form the inside there now, just so we can give it a bit of shape inside like we've given it on the outside. So I'm going to take it from around about here on the inside, this is, and just hollow form that out a little tiny bit. So let's move the camera out a little bit so you guys can see. Actually, that's not a very good picture. Let me move that camera around just a little tiny bit. There you go, that'll look a bit better. That's better. So, move this around a little bit. And what I'm going to be using for this job, I'm going to be using my Simon, oops, do that up Stephen, that helps. My Simon Hope, you see that? Little tiny 6mm carbide cutter. But we've just got to be careful because it loves chewing it out quicker than what you're expecting. So just clean some of this sawdust up.
Wait a minute, we've got some on the chat.
Got what, sorry?
I was just trying to reply to a message. Paul said if that's wet, would it get hot and split?
Well, it hasn't split, it's warm. So you can see some of the moisture's come to the surface.
Steve Coombs is on.
Hi, Steve.
And Dark said, drill a small hole in the bottom, Steve, for a fuse, and you'll have a small cannon. I thought he was saying something to be helpful then.
So I'm going to put this light on so I can see. Is that too much?
Scott from Leap and Lima said a tiny bit, famous last words.
Put this one on.
That is enough. Just a little bit. Just a little bit more.
These lights are either too bright.
Did you hear me or not? Just ignore me.
Yeah, I did hear you. Yeah, I'm just trying to ignore you. No, I'm joking. I did hear you. That's too much now, isn't it? Oops, don't put it in front of the camera, Steve. Oh, man. Hang on, guys. I'm just trying to move this light so you guys can see a bit better. But I think it's going to be too much. That's a bit better. Right. So we're going to try and just hollow this out a little bit. Like I say, it's going to be nice, gentle passes.
The old wood art's on.
Good afternoon.
It's Derek. Hi, one and all. Just passing through while I get my great Sunday lunch goes down and the workshop calls.
I need to get a. I need to alter that so that's a little bit longer. Let me just get a Allen key and just alter that. I want that sticking forward a little bit further. So move that forward a little bit, just to give us a bit more behind the tool rest, really. Right. turn that a bit further around. Can't really get in there.
Barry said a paper towel will diffuse the light.
That's a good idea, Barry. The trouble is you guys can't really see now, that's the trouble. But let me just do this and then I'll turn it back.
Oh,
So that's like, it's getting all in my hair, all in my face.
as long as you don't bring it all into the house.
Right, so let's took most of it out, or quite a bit of it out. Let's try this one now. It's got a bit of a swan neck on it. This is just a cheap carb I bought, I know when I first started. Just see if we can get in that corner a little bit better with that. What I tend to do when I use a carbide, I try to tip it at a 45-degree angle so you're not got such an aggressive cut. Because I find if you have it sit and flush, especially with a non-negative rake, it can jump and jerk about. But when you sort of tip it at a 45, you're basically acting as a negative rake, which seems to be a little bit better. It's not so aggressive. But like I say, oops, each of themselves. It's all down to trial and error, and not everybody's the same. So basically, just trial and error, really. Whatever's best for you.
Right, Lark's gone to make breakfast for his grandson. He'll be back.
Okay.
Dale from Maple Tree's got to go. Need to get ready for my live. Looking good, Steve. Boy. Bye, Nikki.
Dale, chuck your link in the.
I think he has done
Oh,
it earlier, but do it again, Dale.
Yeah, definitely.
Chris of the Dragons, question. If you're hollering with a carbide, can't you turn the tool over and use the other side?
No. Well, I don't think so. Let's try it, shall we? We'll try it, Chris. So I'm going to turn the tool the other way. I suppose you could turn the piece. No, it's not cutting. It's just riding over it. No, definitely got to be the other way. I mean, a lot of carbides you can't put the piece in the other way because of the way they're cut.
He's put his link in for his live.
All right, let's try that. See what that's like. So I am round about just a little bit as you go in the neck. That's a little bit thicker. You can feel. I don't know how you guys work, but you can virtually tell within a few millimeters the difference between fingers. Like I say, it's a little bit round about here, was slightly thicker. So we're just going to take that out a little bit, and I think we'll be pretty close.
Would Wizardry just put the lathe in reverse if it has it?
Don't. Record power CL4 doesn't have reverse. Alright, let's try that. I don't want to go too thin, because if I go too thin, then that'll split as it dries. So that's actually got rid of that. Yeah, don't feel too bad now. So we'll get all the crud out the inside by blowing out the airline. So as you can see, we've got a few tool marks in there now. So we need to be able to get in there and get that cleaned out now. But I don't fancy putting my fingers in there, to be honest. So I'm going to find a piece of wood, pinch around down, and yeah, that'll be perfect. And wrap a bit of 120 around it. So just get some tape. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get a bit of tape to stick on this. Basically it's just going to be used to hold that in place so we can wrap it around. That's what it's going to be used for. Because like I said, I don't fancy sticking my fingers in there. Could do with a sponge really more now. So it's actually
Sponge.
well, so it gives a little bit because the stick's a bit rigid. If you had a sponge, that'd shape more, wouldn't it? Sort of.
What about that, like, feather duster thing?
I don't know.
Don't even know where it is. Got the big one, but that might be.
That's not.
Something like that.
No, it's too big.
And you got the little one of them.
No, I think I've got it now anyway. I don't mind sticking my fingers just inside, but I don't want to stick them right in the back there.
Oh my goodness.
Look at the mess.
I'm staying in here, it's nice and clean and warm.
So I'm just using 120 for this, just to clean this up on the inside. Like I say, we're going to leave it natural inside. I'm not going to put anything on it because I want it to dry out on the inside. But what I will do is I will.
Barry BRS has got to go, he's cooking dinner.
See you later. Thanks,
And
Barry.
Ben
Thanks for
said
coming in.
pipe foam works well.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good call, that is.
Have we got any?
Well, I've done it now, so
Oh.
I will make something, I think, to go in. But like I say, I don't do them very often. But like I was saying, I'm going to leave this natural in, so I'm not going to put any waxes or oils on it. I'm going to fill it full of some of its own shavings and let it stand and dry. And I'm hoping in the next day or two, as it dries out, it starts to lose a bit of shape and starts to warp a little bit, just so it's not perfectly round, which would be quite trendy. You can see it's damp because even the shaving or even the sanding's a bit damp. But
Barry from TJ Turnan's is gone.
see, Barry, I think you said that, though, didn't you? Gone to cook
No,
dinner.
that was Barry from BRS.
Oh, right.
No, what did I? No, sorry. Terry Bray from TJ Turnan's is
Oh,
going.
right.
Colin said, mind your fingers.
Yeah. So I'm trying to be careful of, mate.
Doug Miller said he's got to go and he really wants to see this piece in about a month. Looks great now.
Thank you. All right, so that's 120. Let's go up to 240.
I've done his inventories.
If I can find 240, there we go, 240. Ah, daughter number one's home.
And then we've got.
Thought she'd lost her way.
In case I would put them on as well. We didn't want to put them on, just assume. And I thought I'd put them in a little envelope. Oh, I've dropped them.
Right, so
Yeah, I didn't want them on, but Dad said they should.
so
I
as you can
need some
see,
help to find something for these
still got a
two.
couple of little tool marks in there.
She did send me a link
But
for
what I
two
will
bits of
do
stuff.
is I'll work
So,
out something once that's dry. I'll
again,
work out something to clean it out properly. But we're going to let it dry properly first. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to part this. The reason being is because I'm going
got
to.
to get them. Or him.
Can you put your hand over if you're going to talk?
Sorry.
So what I'm going to do is I'll part it and then we can hold it this end on a chuck to put a mortise in the bottom. So I'm going to part it here so we can get it off, and then that'll let the base dry out as well. So let's get this parted off. So I'm going to leave about the same. Let's move the camera so you guys can see a bit good stuff. So what I'll try and do, I'll try and leave about the same width between this line and here and this line and here. So it looks uniform, so somewhere there I reckon. So we can take that through there. So I'm going to take this nearly all the way through and then we'll clean it off with the fine parting tool. So I'm going to use the fine parting tool now just to finish that off. And hopefully we'll catch it.
Yeah. Emma's got a question.
Go on then.
She said, can you not dry it with the tenon on so you can use it when it's dry?
No, because I think what will happen, Emma, is when that dry, I think that will the tenon will go out of shape and that won't be able to grab it with it. So that's why I want to try and get a mortise in the bottom now, to be honest. Oops. So we got it off. And while that's round, chuck that bit in the bin. While that's round, I want to get this mortise in the bottom. Just not doing it up too tight so it ends up cracking. That's the key thing. Let's put turn that light off now. Oops. Do, 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 do. It's a little bit around, but I think it's got to be there. So just clean this off. Just stop that. Move cameras.
Robert Dolman said, "Is that what you have to put up with in the Steve BGRD?"
BGRG. I don't know what that means.
Robert, I don't know what that means. Sorry.
But if he means the talking, then yeah, all the time, mate. So 55mm.
Douglas said, "Get the
10mm.
dowel, put a hole in it, and fit a head from a inertia sand in it."
Mesh sander.
You'll have to read that. Oh, background. Yeah. He loves that.
So just clean this out. Oh, that's a nice bit of dark wood in there. So just clean that up a little bit with a flat scraper. The tools are rattling. It's better. Drive me crazy. Alright, so just clean this out. How's rattling? Right. Let's just clean this up.
Chris said, "Wouldn't have it any other way, Nikki." Nikki, does he get a choice? Nope. Chris said, "Is this when the funnel happens?"
Chris, how dare you say such a thing?
Douglas said, "It's dark at the bottom."
It is dark at the bottom.
And Scott Blue Light Turner's on.
Hi, Scott. So there we go. I'm going to leave that. Let that dry out properly, and I'll finish that once that's all dry. So there we go. Let's get that off. There we go. Too close. Let's move out a little bit. There we go. Admittedly, we got a little bit of distortion around, not distortion, but where the wax is sort of, when we were steaming it, drilling it all out, got a little bit, but we'll let that dry, and then we'll come back and finish that off. As you can see in there, let's put this light on so you can see. As you can see in there, we've got 140mm all the way down, but we'll let that dry out, and then we'll come back. What I'll do is I'll come back and finish that off. I'll give it a week or two to dry. And like I say, I'm hoping that it loses a little bit of shape. I'm hoping it goes sort of eccentric a little bit, a bit like me, eccentric. But that's the plan anyway. So look at the mess, man. Look at the mess everywhere. But that's the plan anyway. Got bits all over me. God, what a mess. Take me 2 days to clear up now. So, just a quick little vase. Well, not quick, I suppose. No, look, we've been on an hour and 40 minutes. My God. Surprised you guys are still here. So, there we go. It's quite nice, actually. It's, let me find a tape and we'll get a rough size. It's around about 28 inches high by 5 inches across. So it's quite a nice size, actually. And like I say, I wanted the base quite chunky. So,
Like
nice,
you, darling. Just
yeah,
like
like
you.
me. It's quite a nice piece of wood, actually.
Right, here we go. So Ian Leonard, looks good, Steve. Steve Coombs, beautiful, Steve. Douglas Mungham said, looks like the dog's bees, Steve. Robert Dolman, very nice piece. Scott said he's late because he had to do his good deed for the day and help the elderly with tech. John S said, absolute brilliant demo, Steve. Thanks. Colin from Wood Wizardry, really nice, Steve. Andy Heath, very nice, Steve. See you soon.
Thank you.
Chris of the Dragon said, like it. Paul Smith, nice work, Steve. Well done. Emma said she loves the T-shirt. Pete said, Nikki said she would clean up the workshop, Steve. Nope.
Good
I'm
girl.
going to
Good
cook
girl.
Sunday lunch.
Look at it all.
No, actually, Sunday tea. Neil Gold said, well done, Steve. Keith Wright, nice work, beautiful piece of wood. Barry's Wood Creations, great job, Steve. Another soup alive. Christine and Michael, love the shape, Steve.
Thank you.
Mr. Stacey Smith, lovely job, Steve. Klondike Craftsman, well done. IDR Turner, nice. DL Woodart, must go, need to resource some wood to make a toy box for the newest great-grandson and finish some nutcrackers. Oh, that'd look be good, nutcracker soldiers.
Nutcrackers.
Huey said, very nice project, mate. Question, are you waterproofing the inside later?
I'm going to leave it to dry first, Hugh, and then we'll see what happens. If it cracks, then we might have to rethink it. But hopefully it won't crack. So if that's the case, then I might give it a coat of resin on the inside just to make it waterproof.
Keith said, good one, mate. And Emma said, oh yeah, the vase is beautiful too.
Oh, thanks, Emma. Yeah, I had some T-shirts designed. Well, I designed some T-shirts, and if anybody's interested, this one and the logo for the Sunday lives, or the lives, and also the SK Craft logo is on Teesprings. There should be a link in the description for it, so if anybody interested, pop over and check them out.
Karen Dolman said, nice one, Steve. Thanks for the demo.
You're welcome, Karen.
Huey said, okay, cheers, mate. Would be awesome if you could put water in too.
You can put water in it now.
Not
Might not last in it very long, but you can put it in now. No, but I will have a go at putting resin in it. Once that's dry, because I mean that's still, you can feel that's still quite damp in there. But like I say, I'll stick some shavings in it, put it in the storeroom for a couple of weeks, and we'll see what happens. If it twists, it twists. If it don't, it don't. And we'll see what happens. Like I say, the inside needs to be finished a little bit. There's a little bit of tool marking in there we need to get out. But I'm gonna make something to get in there so I can sand it, so I'm not ramming my fingers down there.
They put, been great company in the workshop. Some ideas for me to try on this apple too. Colin Izzard, very good job. Huey said, does that have those famous knots on, Steve? Turn around.
On the back, yeah.
Yeah. Emma just said on the back, Huey.
The famous knots. That's what's going to be on my T-shirt at Makers. Please don't ask about my knots.
Not funny.
Not funny. Not funny. Right, guys. I'm glad you enjoyed. Thank you very much to everybody who's come over. Very much appreciate. Like you guys said, it smells a bit fruity, appley. But we'll take it as applewood. I'll take that. So we'll see what happens for the next one. Father-in-law gave me 3 pieces. This was the biggest piece. Then there's that bit which is a little bit shorter. Then there's another piece which is even smaller. So we'll see what happens. But like I say, I just wanted to have a bit of a play really. But it's got a nice that bit in there really does look nice. So yeah, worked out well. I like it. So guys, thank you very much for coming over.
Sorry, I'm just looking at something else now.
Just get the spelling right. What's that for, Emma? Great demo, Steve. Nikki.
Leroy said, awesome job and beautiful piece of wood. Douglas said, great demo, Steve, and Earworm and Nikki. Mr. Stacey said, see you later, guys. Cheers, Steve and Nikki. Emma said, just get the spelling right. Not, I think she meant.
All right. Yeah.
Back looks great, Steve. Dark.
Thanks.
Cheers, everyone. Leroy, thank you very much. Great demonstration. Top work, fella. Thanks for earworm and Nikki. Catch you all later, Huey. Even though you offended me, Huey.
Did he?
He
Oh,
called me Pam Ayres.
Pam Ayres. Pam Ayres. That's a name from the past, isn't it? Pam Ayres.
Yeah, Emma said not.
Right.
Ta-ta for now. All great live as always. Colin from Wood Wizardry.
Well, thank you very much, guys, for coming over. Again, there won't be. I don't think I will do a lunchtime live next week. But I'll just have to see how things go. If I am about, I will do one. But if not, again, I will stick a short video up that I have. So keep an eye open. But if not, someone else might do it. We'll have a word and see if we can get someone to cover a lunchtime live if I can't do it. So anyway, guys, we're going to go. I really do appreciate you guys hanging on. We've been a bit longer than we normally are. So I really appreciate you guys for staying over and keeping us company. So
I'll give him time to just go grab a cuppa and go over to Dale's.
yep, don't forget Dale is on at 3 o'clock. So you have about 13 minutes. So like it says, go empty your bladder, grab a cuppa and go and watch Dale.
Ben said, wait a minute, Ben said, nice, very nice, Steve, much love. Huey said, not nuts, laugh. Barry said, bye, Steve, bye, Nikki, and all.
Right then, guys, we're going to go. So we will see you next Sunday, if not before. Don't forget, I'll be back Friday night live. We have Dale this afternoon. We have, I believe, Hodgepodge is on this afternoon as well. I think he has a premiere on a Sunday. Whether he still got it or not, I don't know. Then we've got Makers Podcast International. Then we have JP's premiere, then Caitlin the Cat, and then we are back for Wayne's live lunchtime tomorrow. So go
Do
check
they have
those.
things for? Do they have links for their premieres?
Yes, if you. Oh, I don't
If
know whether
JP's.
JP's will be on his channel. I haven't seen JP's premiere or a link at the moment.
So he was on here earlier, but I don't know if he's still here.
But anyway, if you go and look on the bluelightturner.com's website, there's a whole listing of who's on, who's got premieres on all through the week. So go over and check that out. That's all links of everything on there. So, what?
Dark put. Bye, Steve, and bye to the lovely voice in the background as well.
Yeah, she don't like coming on camera dark. So, we're going to go. So, we'll take care, or you take care, shall I say. Speak to you soon, and if I don't see you before, I'll see you next Friday. Take care. Bye for now. Bye.
Bye.
That's all, folks.